Oh, we're back here.
Okay, that gets us out. I don't care.
Go on, try out some of the new features.
Please no screenshot.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Wow, screw you too.
Tch.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Yeah, I can see it now. I can hear you walking. That's okay. I don't think we missed anything anyway.
We did not. I stopped as soon as I noticed it was gone.
Good. I had to take care of something anyway.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see,
This
Stanley,
is a
anytime you're
bucket.
holding the bucket,
Dear God.
calm and ease
It's-
will fill
there's
your mind
more.
and your heart. It's true.
No.
As long as you hold on to the bucket, the
I wish I could
moments
replicate the
and
face he makes everywhere.
contradictions
Just
of
what?
the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring.
This is
cognitive
OCD, the
dissonance
game,
while
I
the
swear to
bucket is in your
God.
arms. And
It really is.
it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes,
Developers in a nutshell, both
give it a try.
people like me and whatnot.
Okay, enthusiasm a bit
Can
much.
you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in
The
fact,
bucket.
can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
The bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should
No, and they
be
really
the rule
shouldn't.
If it isn't already.
I guess we leave now.
We just leave with our bucket. The end. What the? Oh, I guess that's a speaker or
Oh
something.
my. Oh my, that is disturbing to look at.
Agreed.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but...
Oh darn it, I wanted to see what was up the stairs.
Right?
It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a
I've
meaningful
got my
gameplay
bucket.
experience.
As long as I have my bucket, I'm okay.
Okay. Are you
As long as
ready?
I got my stress bucket, I'm
Yes.
fine.
I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
And it resets itself. Oh. It's all the things.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right?
There's
sort of-
potential.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
No, it's worse.
They even put a silly variable upside down.
This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy it.
And it's all the collectibles. They're all here at once.
Yeah, I can just go down there.
I wanted more
No!
than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can
add
take the
more to the original?
Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect.
We're just going through the pitch meeting that they did for making this game.
Yeah, this is just a pitch meetings video. All we need is Ryan George.
But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen.
I wonder if he's got an AI.
Screen that says with
Well,
bold and
Well, I mean, to make one would be
conviction,
really easy.
this
Barely an
is the
inconvenience.
Stanley Parable 2.
You know what? Honestly, I'm considering just like seeing if there's an AI voice and then just having it dub over.
Take a look.
Dub over what?
Oh my god. Dub over writings of this. Like space, like do a dub over of the Stanley Parable.
God, so
So the narrator, so the narrator says, and that's why we're making the Stanley Parable 2.
Stanley walked through the red door. I said that Stanley walked through the red door. I mean, it would be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Okay, legit. This looks kind of cool. This looks kind of cool.
Agree. You got a red room vibe. That's pretty cool. It's even red to reference the red door.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building.
Oh, we got
he was
balloons now.
employee number 427.
It's his
Employee
balloon!
427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push.
Oh, they made edits to it.
This is what employee 427 did every day, every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Oh my
Something
gosh,
that
the
would
title.
never change
Yeah.
Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order.
You think you would have noticed a lot sooner, but I guess maybe this is just the point where you're just like, okay, what is going on?
Instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years.
Isn't
at
that
the
just
company
working in an
had
office
this
space normally?
this
No one says
complete
hi?
Isolation.
Yeah.
Something was very clearly wrong.
They just say get to work or you're
Sharp,
fired?
Frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Hell yeah.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
What can we do over here? Wait. Okay, never mind. We'll just take the bucket.
Right?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Dialogue changer. Okay, so which one do you think?
You know what? The narrator gave us this bucket. We'll be nice and listen to him this time. For this one issue.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more
I
than
think those
ever.
are probably still the same.
Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Yep.
You had to.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
Ew.
The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
You can't have it. It's mine.
You can't have my.
It belongs in a broom closet.
Oh, he's trying to reverse psychology us.
It's supposed to go with the other
And it's work.
supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't. Coming to a staircase.
Pretty genius, to
Stanley
be
and the
honest.
bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
I said we listened to him once. I didn't say it twice.
Yes.
Hello, what's this? Ooh.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these. Only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then,
He'd be
something
right.
occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is
When you gave it to me, you betrayed me,
Would come
narrator.
from this. Who knows
My
what
bucket's
sort
gone.
of bizarre hallucination
No.
Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him. Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket. Could it truly
Oh, this is like a
He was
horror
from
story.
room to room,
I'll
passing
say.
by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
Oh my gosh, what the fuck?
Stanley, find me. He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley
What?
rolled over in agony and blacked out.
What?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course, mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all
Oh
just
my
a
God.
video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon
So just
have to
like in this
confront.
universe, the buckets are
The bucket would provide
held to your
absolute
hand
guidance
like
and total
phones and
clarity on
ours.
everything. Heck yes, she
Right.
thought to herself. My life kicks ass.
She looked all the way to work. What is this?
I forgot about that part out because that was my life kicks ass.
Oh boy. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm good for now. I think next time we'll start to explore more and more of the different endings.
Yeah, that was a good ending to stop on too. My life kicks ass.
My life kicks ass.
You cartwheeled all the way home.
Yeah.
Alright.
Anyways, thank you all for watching the AceJimL8 podcast. Now get in.
Ouch. Yeah. What a twist.